Shalom, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash, Shanya Kabad, Gadwala Requab, Zaquanyam Nawa, Shalayakim Nawa, that's the belongers. To our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakaryam, Shalayasharala. And that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. What I want to do in this video is very quickly just speak about the timeline of prophecy. So not getting into any one particular prophecy in general and speaking on that. However, we will cover Jacob's trouble. But what I wanted to speak on was just how, in general, there is a timeline of prophecy. And this is something that the elder Apostle Tahar has been speaking on in his past few videos within the past, I'll say maybe week and a half. And it's very important because there's a reason why we're going out there on the highways and byways and telling our people to build up their spirits. You see, right now we're in this time of mercy. We're in this grace period. And in this grace period, there's something that we should be doing. We need to be taking action. And what we should be doing is increasing our faith and once again building up our spirits so that we're able to stand in these evil days to come. Watchmen don't just blow the trumpet for no reason or sound the alarm for no reason. So a time of trouble is coming, and yes, the elect are going to have to go through that time of trouble. So there is an order of prophecy. There is a timeline of prophecy in which certain events will take place on earth. We're going to start off reading in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 18. It says, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled." Now, it says from the law, but remember, even Yahweh Shai said, "Does it not state in your law that ye are gods?" Now, that phrase, "ye are gods," was not found in the law. Nowhere in the first 5 books, Leviticus, not Exodus, Deuteronomy, anywhere. But that was quoted from the book of Psalm. I think that's the 82nd chapter, which lets us know that the law in this sense right here is just referring to, in general, the entire book. So everything that's written in this book has to be fulfilled, and it will. There are still prophecies in the Old Testament that have not been fulfilled, specifically Jacob's trouble. You see, right now we're in the beginning, you can say, of Jacob's trouble. We're in the beginning of woes, in the beginning of famine, great evil and pestilence, so on and so forth. We're seeing, because of this C-19, that certain stores are becoming empty with particular items, shelves being empty, right? Obviously, gas prices rising. Hyperinflation is more than likely coming soon. So we're seeing that we're in the beginning of this stage of Jacob's trouble right now. And this trouble, some period, has to happen before the missiles hit, before Babylon the Great is destroyed. The number one reason, and of course, most importantly, your spiritual eyes have to be open, and ears, I'll say, and the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai's spirit has to be dwelling in you to see all these things. But if that is the case, then it should be very easy to see that even the elect have to go through this time of trouble, because our faith, and I say that humbly, the faith of the elect has to be tried. So Revelation 3 verse 10 says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation." So let's think about that phrase. Let's hold on to that. And let's read that in the NLT. It said, "I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation." In the NLT, it says, "Because you have obeyed my command." Only the elect are the ones hearkening unto the Lord, are actually obeying his command, doing his will. So because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you, keep thee, protect you from the great time of testing, the hour of temptation, or the great time of testing. So this goes hand in hand with Jacob's trouble. And the great time of testing is going to be when the MOB, that charagma, the CHIP, is made mandatory, I'll just say, or is pushed on a global scale. But you see, the elect are going to have to go through that time period. And it says that the Lord is going to protect the elect, those that obeyed his command, those that kept him safe. So there isn't going to be destruction comes, World War III, and then after, once the elect have been delivered from that great destruction, then all of a sudden this great time of testing comes. No. You can say that you have faith all you want, but your faith has to be proven. It has to be put to the test. And it goes hand in hand. If you believe in something and have faith in it, then there's going to be an action behind your faith. And vice versa. If you, or the reason why you do something is because you believe in it. So faith and works, or faith and actions, they go hand in hand. You have to prove your faith. And to prove that, we're going to jump over here and read the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verses 7 and 8. And everyone that shall be saved, that's only the elect, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, shall be able to escape by his works and by faith. They go hand in hand. So we're going to have to go through that time of trouble. And that's what we preach. That's why we're telling our people on the highways and byways, in season and out of season, look, prepare your spirits for this great time of testing. And I didn't even finish reading out Revelation 3 and 10, but it's all good, going with the Spirit now. And that was a point on that verse anyway. But the elect are going to have to go through this great time of testing in order for the faith to be proven, so that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai can say, this is a man or this is a woman right here that stood firmly and believed in me. I'm pleased with what they're doing, their sacrifice, and that's someone that I want to deliver and protect when I return. Look at their faith. And when Yahushua returns, he will deliver his elect, because it's prophesied that they're going to stand firm. So it says, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. In the beginning. But so that's predestination right there. So I wanted to speak on that one topic, the missiles and the destruction of Babylon the Great is not going to happen before this great time of testing, the hour of temptation, which is when that charagma, the MOB, is pushed. That has to happen first. The MOB is going to be pushed hardcore, made mandatory. And then after that time frame, then the destruction is going to come once the faith of the elect is proven. The other thing that I wanted to speak on very briefly is how the curses that were placed upon our people because of our disobedience as a whole to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, these curses are different than Jacob's trouble. We're talking about two different scenarios, two different reasons for why these, for lack of a better word, things happened. These curses were placed upon us because we didn't hearken unto the Heavenly Father. We disobeyed the covenant that we as a nation said that we will do. We disobeyed his laws, statutes, and commandments. Therefore, these curses came upon our people, all the way from verse 16 on down. These curses are separate from the time of great tribulation that's coming to the world. And I'm going to read just the very last verse, and then grab, getting over a cold, and then grab one precept in Matthew 24 to prove this point. So Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. We know this is spiritually referring to America. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. It referring to the land of Israel. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And we were sold on those auctioning blocks. And no man shall buy you. Buy you, that phrase meaning no man shall redeem you or get you out of that state of captivity. It was only through the grace and mercy of the Heavenly Father sending down his only begotten Son, and through Yahushai's blood being shed, that now we can be redeemed out of this state of slavery that even right now we're still currently in. So with that being said, when you think about slavery and everything that our people went through during that time, I mean, you think of such a terrible, horrendous, if that's a word, time or experience that we went through. We're talking about men's private areas being chopped off while they're still alive, being burnt alive, right? Our men and our women being raped. We're talking about families being separated. We're talking about pregnant women having their bellies sliced open and the babies falling out and these Edomites stomping on them. I mean, there's so many. And then all the different torture mechanisms that Esau was playing around on our people, experimenting in women's vaginas and, calling it science today. I mean, this is what was happening during the time of slavery, right? A terrible time, right? Very terrible. When we jump over now to the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, and verse 21, keep in mind, this is when Yahushai's disciples asked him in verse 3, what's going to be the sign of your coming? And when shall these things be? Right? And of the end of the world, meaning this current age of this Edomite ruling. Yahushai goes on to lay down some things like, look, there's going to be many false prophets saying that they're the anointed. You're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. Nations are going to rise against nations. There are going to be famines and pestilences and earthquakes. These are just the beginning of sorrows. And then, of course, iniquity is going to abound. The love of many shall wax cold. The gospel is going to be preached throughout the entire world. All this is happening right now, right? And then we jump down to verse 21, and it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So the time of great tribulation that's coming to this world is separate from the curses. And this is important because people, or at least a certain guy, was saying on the comment board of, I think, the elder Karatazah, Salaki, if I'm wrong about that, but this guy came on his comment board saying how we've been in Jacob's trouble since we got over here in slavery, and that's not the case. And if you understood the timeline of prophecy, you know that wasn't the case. No, Jacob's trouble hasn't happened yet. We're not in Jacob's trouble. It's going to be a time like never was, nor shall be, meaning it's going to be a time that's worse than slavery. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. We're talking about, what's the word? Apparitions happening, here in Babylon the Great. It's going to be very terrible. But guess what? The elect, because they've been preparing their minds this entire time, building up their spirit, increasing their faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai during this grace period, they're going to be merry-hearted. They're going to be okay. They're going to be protected, as we read in the book of Revelation 3 and 10, in this time. And then once they go through that proving ground and they kept the faith and the Most High kept them safe during that hour of temptation, they didn't take the chip, then after that, the destruction is going to come, right? That's the timeline of prophecy. Very important to understand, especially seeing everything that's going on in the world right now. So that charagma has to be pushed and made mandatory first. The elect has to be tried and proven, then the destruction. So call Haloyim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Achakudash. I pray that this was edifying to the elect. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.